dragons, robots, computers, and one giant pussy. Well, technically two. This is the Star Trek The Animated Series, episode 9 of season 1, Once Upon a Planet. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the review. We're going back to Shore Leave Planet, which was in the original series. It had a white rabbit, lots of stuff happened, there was a keeper. And as soon as they said white rabbit, we got a bunny rabbit. And then we got Alice. And it was like, okay, and they're on there, they're all on shore leave, they want to relax. And then Uhura's by a pond, singing gently. McCoy's walking up to an old house, and then he is attacked by the Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts? I'm pretty sure it's the Queen of Hearts. Of whom wants to chop off his head. And they're worried. What's going on? It's really weird. So McCoy says, let's beam back up to the Enterprise. And Uhura is accosted by someone and kidnapped. They don't know where she is. They don't know how to get in contact with her, but they need to find her. So all the shore leave people have beamed up except Uhura. We get Emrys in this episode, which I've noticed because she did a lot of talking in this episode. Whenever she talks, she goes, I would like you to do that. And it was every time she talked, she made some sort of weird cat noise. It was really weird. So Spock beams down with Kirk and with Sulu and with McCoy, and they are trying to find a way into the central computer of the planet, the thing that makes all of these robots to entertain people. The robot itself is claiming that it wants to take over the universe. It talks about how the starships are enslaving the humans. It's a really weird thing. He thinks he should take over the universe because robot life is superior. Kirk, he decides that he wants to turn off our away team with Kirk, Spock, and all that. And he lures them into a cave by using signs that pop up and down. Like it's clearly a trap. Like they're walking into a trap, and Kirk even acknowledges it in this. They get taken to a cave, and then they're attacked. There's a dragon, and then they're in the cave, and there's a giant pussy outside for some reason. And I want to say a giant pussy for some reason. It's a giant pussy. So not only do you get a human-sized pussy, you get a giant pussy. Why the pussy's there? Watch out for the claws. It's a genuinely wacky episode. We get a lot of Uhura talking to the alien. Talking to the robot computer and talking about trying to explain things to it, that the Enterprise is actually there together. Weird. Kirk, McCoy, Spock come up with an idea, which is to inject Spock with some serum to make him appear to be dead so that the robots will come and take him inside and they can rescue Uhura and find out what the hell is going on. They do this. Spock collapses, and then Sulu and McCoy are trapped outside with a double-headed dragon, and Spock is taken and Kirk runs in after him. Shenanigans ensue where they're being chased by robots because Spock wakes up just in time. And then they get to the computer himself and they are talking to him. And the episode pretty much deals with that with talk. The Enterprise is also, he's trying to work out how to take the Enterprise so he can get out there and take over the universe. We get a lot more Emrys and a lot more Arik? Emrys going, we can't communicate with them. That's the noises she is making. It's generally fun. It turns off the artificial gravity, so everyone's floating, which is really, really cool. Yeah, I genuinely enjoyed that part of it. Like, oh, artificial gravity, I'm glad they're talking about this. Kirk convinces the robot after this that he is much more beneficial to the universe, being on this planet, learning from people and talking to people and understanding. The galaxy will come to the robot. We learned that the keeper from the original episode is dead, by the way. But yeah, the computer agrees and sort of says, oh, on one condition, you stay here and talk to me. And then Kirk goes, sure. Spock, you're okay with that? Okay, we're all good. And then they just go on shore leave, and that's pretty much the episode. It definitely is nice to see like a continuation of a TOS storyline. I was almost tempted to do 2 episodes this season because literally the next screenshot on Amazon Prime is Chapel and Spock, and considering what's going on with Strange New Worlds, which I also review on Thursdays, I really, really wanted to watch this. But genuinely, I was like, oh, I should do 2, but I'm not. We're going to wait till next week. This episode, in general, I enjoyed seeing more of Emrys. I think that she's an interesting character. I don't get the weird noises. She's clearly voiced by Majel Barrett. I liked going back to the planet. There were some really well done sort of artistry shots of all this. There was obviously a lot of original animation in this episode, because there was a flaw towards the end where, so all through this episode, we'd seen an African-American guy at the helm next to Arik. And then all of a sudden it cuts to Aaron talking, and it's Sulu again, but Sulu's down on the planet being attacked by a dragon. So didn't kind of work out. It's fine. You wouldn't notice it if you were 5 years old. Being my age, I noticed it instantly. The stories are very light. To be honest, it's not even up in the top 1 up to episode 9. It's not the top of the 9. It's definitely, I would say, down. It would be the last of the 9. But once again, it's still a fun little romp. Like they talk about Alice through the looking glass, and Spock talks about how his mum was very big on Alice through the looking glass, which if you watch Star Trek Discovery, I don't know whether it's mentioned in any other TV media of Star Trek, but in Discovery, they use that as well. Alice through the looking glass. Burnham reads it because Spock's mother reads it. And I'm sitting there going, did Discovery take from the animated series and we just don't remember? Probably, because a lot of stuff from Star Trek comes from the animated series, which is weird. We obviously saw, I think it's an Indosian, which is Arik, who's on the front thing with a third arm in Strange New Worlds this week. So who knows? Otherwise, you know what? I would give this a 6. It's good. It's fine. It's average. It's nothing super special, but a fun little romp. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Come back on Thursday for Strange New Worlds episode 3 of season 3, and come back next week for more Star Trek the Animated Series, where we might be delving into some Chapel Spock stuff. La 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 la.